In the United States, visas are required for non-citizens who wish to visit. Different visas depend on the visit's purpose and whether it is a temporary or permanent stay. Here, we will discuss obtaining a visa for a family member to attend your wedding day in the United States, its requirements, and the process of obtaining a visa for a family member. If you are an American citizen, your family members can get visas to attend your wedding in the United States. There are different visa categories, and depending on their country of origin, they must apply for a visitor visa, B2. The B2 visa allows visits for the following purposes: tourism vacation, holiday, visit with friends or relatives, medical treatment, participation in social events hosted by fraternal, social, or service organizations, participation by amateurs in musicals, sports, or similar events or contests, if not being paid for participating, enrollment in a short recreational course of study, not for credit toward a degree, for example, a 2-day cooking class while on vacation. The first thing you must do is determine what type of visa your family member needs. The most common visas for visitors are the B-series visas. These visas are for temporary visits, and there are different types depending on the purpose of the visit. Here is a step-by-step process to apply. The first step is determining if your family member is eligible for a visa. To do this, they must meet the requirements of the Immigration and Nationality Act, INA. This includes having a valid passport, no criminal convictions, and demonstrating that they will return to their home country after their visit. The next step is to gather the required documents for the visa application. This includes a valid passport, proof of financial support, and evidence of ties to their home country. Additional documents may be required depending on the type of visa they are applying for. Once all the required documents have been gathered, your family member can complete the visa application. This includes filling out the form, providing biographical information, and answering questions about their travel plans. Documents required to be furnished by visa applicants for a B2 visa to the US passport, evidence of financial resources, letters explaining your purpose for visiting the US, proper insurance coverage, information on who you are lodging with and their location, air tickets, proof of intent to return to one's native country, financial documents. Once the application is completed, it must be submitted to the US Embassy or consulate in their home country. Depending on the country, additional application requirements, such as an interview or additional documents, may exist. You have to fill up the online non-immigrant visa application, Form DS-160, complete the online visa application, and print the form confirmation page to bring to your interview. You will also have to upload your photo in the prescribed format. Please read the form instructions carefully to avoid any delays in processing. Once the application has been submitted, your family member must schedule an interview with a consular officer. This is usually done at the US Embassy or consulate in their home country. During the interview, they will be asked questions about their travel plans and the purpose of their visit. They may also be asked to provide additional documents or evidence of ties to their home country. Once the visa interview is complete, your family members will have to wait for a decision on their visa issuance. This can take several weeks or even months, depending on the type of visa and the country they are applying from. If your family members are eligible for a B-series visa, they should be able to attend your wedding. However, it is important to remember that the visa process can take several weeks or months, so starting the application process as soon as possible is best. Here is the link to begin the process. You have to sign up using your email. There is a B visa for tourists, a B visa for business visitors, and a B visa for visiting the United States to marry a citizen. If your family member is not a citizen of the United States, they will need a visa to attend your wedding. Once you have completed and signed these forms, you must submit them along with supporting documents, such as a copy of your marriage certificate, proof that you are getting married, such as invitations, proof of your family member's citizenship, and a passport-style photo. You will also need to pay the appropriate fees. The application process can take several weeks, so it is essential to start early. Your family member will also need to have a valid passport to travel. If everything is approved, your family member can attend your wedding in the United States. If an applicant is denied a non-immigrant visa under Section 214B, they may not qualify for it until their financial and personal circumstances change significantly. They should review why their application was rejected and realistically evaluate their ties. After an immigration officer interviews an applicant, some visa applications will require additional administrative processing, resulting in delays in visa processing. The visa application fee varies from country to country. For more information, please contact the US Embassy or consulate in your family member's home country. Applying for a visa for your family to attend your wedding may be a little arduous. However, you can still make inviting your family momentous and fun. Write a special letter to your family and deliver it to them, but ask them not to open it until you have a chance to have a video conference call or FaceTime. Dress up for the call. Let them know that you have something very special to tell them. Let them know that you were able to secure their visas for your wedding and allow the moment to be truly special. Summing up. In conclusion, your family members can get visas to attend your wedding in the United States. However, it is important to start the application process as soon as possible and ensure all necessary documents are submitted. FAQs. What is a visa? A visa is a document that allows a person to travel to a foreign country and stay for a specific period. Visas are issued by the embassy or consulate of the country you will be visiting. There are different types of visas depending on the purpose of your visit. For example, there are business visas, visas for tourists, students, etc. What are the different types of US visas? The US offers two types of visas: non-immigrant visas for short-term travel and immigrant visas for those planning to stay longer. Immigrant visas are for legal permanent resident status to live permanently in the United States. The immigrant visa application process is different from the travel application. Besides these two types, there are special visas for certain categories, such as diplomats, athletes, and religious workers. How long does it take to get a visa? The processing time for a visa application can vary depending on the type of visa you are applying for and the country you are applying from. Generally, it takes 4-6 weeks to process a non-immigrant visa application and up to 6 months for an immigrant visa application. How long does it take to get a wedding visa? The process for obtaining a wedding visa usually takes about 6 weeks, but it may take longer if you're from a country with special requirements. Visas can be obtained at any US consulate or embassy in your home country or abroad. The application fees and processing times vary by location, so contact your nearest consulate for more information. Are visas required for family members? Yes, visas are usually required for family members who are not citizens of the country where the wedding occurs. This is because they will stay in that country for an extended period and need a valid visa to enter. Visitors are available for family members who want to visit you during your wedding trip, but they must apply separately and pay the appropriate fees. What is required for visas? Visas are required to travel internationally, but do not guarantee entry into a foreign country. Visas can be revoked if the bearer violates any immigration laws or becomes ineligible to enter the country. They are usually valid for a certain period. They must be renewed once that time has expired. Visas can be obtained at any US consulate or embassy in your home country or abroad. The application fees and processing times vary by location, so contact your nearest consulate for more information. Visas can also be revoked if the bearer violates immigration laws or becomes ineligible to enter the country. Visas are usually valid for a certain period and must be renewed once that time has expired. Visas can be obtained at any US consulate or embassy in your home country or abroad. How long can you use your visa? Visas are usually valid for a certain period. Once that time has expired, they must be renewed. Visas can also be revoked if the bearer violates immigration laws or becomes ineligible to enter the country. Visas are usually valid for a certain period and must be renewed once that time has expired. How to renew your wedding visa? You must submit additional documents to complete the process if you renew your wedding visa. Visas can be renewed at any US consulate or embassy in your home country or abroad. The application fees and processing times vary by location, so contact your nearest consulate for more information. What is the rule for visas for the fiancés of US citizens? Newlyweds admitted to the US as K-1 non-immigrants may apply for a green card if they marry within 90 days. A valid marriage requires both parties to sincerely intend to create a life together, not just to gain an immigration benefit. Some documents required may include a birth certificate, marriage certificate, police certificates for your country of residence, travel expenses to the US Embassy for an interview and medical examination. You might also be asked to present additional details, such as wedding photographs, to establish the integrity of the marriage, and that your previous marriage has been terminated legally due to death, divorce, or annulment. Also, you and your fiancé must have met at least once in the last 2 years before you submit your petition. To bring your fiancé to the United States, you must work with USCIS, the US Department of State, DOS, and US Customs and Border Protection. What is the K-3 visa? The K-3 non-immigrant visa is available to foreign spouses of American citizens. After they get a K-3 visa, recipients apply to the US. Citizenship and Immigration Services USCIS of the Department of Homeland Security DHS to become permanent residents LPR. Does a child need a visa to visit the United States? Everyone who wants to visit the US needs a visa, or must be eligible for travel without one via a program like the Visa Waiver Program, even kids and minor children. What is the process for my parents to come to visit the US? The same process outlined above applies to your parents. You might want to consult an attorney for more specific legal advice regarding the best way to get them to visit you, or even get a permanent residence.